I know our sports information department or communications department shared some messaging regarding the passing of Richie Davis and also Tracy Krieger. And I just want to use this moment to send our condolences out um, to both families. It's been a rough uh, 72 hours or since Sunday, obviously with the news of Richie, and then this morning the news with Tracy. So I just want to extend our condolences to the families out there up in the Fox Valley and also in Muscadet with Tracy. Obviously, two terrific people who have had great impacts on the game of basketball and sports in general in the state. I've known Tracy for almost 40 years. He coached me at camp when Cofield and Yoder were coaches here, and Coach Ryan was an assistant. So our relationship goes way, way back, and he continually worked camp for us. And like I said in the statement, officiated about every sport on earth, um, along with coached at UW Richland Center. So two huge losses to the basketball and athletics community in the state, and I just want to send out our best wishes to the families. With that, I'll go right to questions regarding you guys would have about the game.
Start with Jim.
Greg, if you compare this performance to Saturday's defensively, what did you like better today?
Well, I thought we were better in transition. To hold them to no transition points is obviously a huge step in the right direction. So I thought that was a big part of it. That we were better in the second half with taking care of the ball. The first half, not so much. But I think the biggest thing, obviously, was the ability to get back and get our defense set. I thought we took better shots. We were able to get in the paint a little bit more. So that was it was a simple formula or simple fix, but we still had to go play, and getting our defense set is obviously primary no matter who we're playing.
Jeff.
Greg, what do you think Trevor gave you a little bit in spurts? Generally, he's a facilitator. Tonight, it looked like he was a little more willing to attack and try to be a scorer.
Yeah, I thought he was, he's always helped us when he's come in a lot of places. And specifically, with their switching everything and scrambling things up, you eventually have to just break it down and play and break people down and make plays. And I thought he was able to do that. He was able to get in the paint and get to the rim himself. Found some people from time to time, but he just was able to put pressure on the rim with dribble penetration. And, that's, you get to a point where you're go unscripted offensively with how they're scrambling and trapping the post and rotating, and you have to make plays. And Trevor was able to do that for us tonight.
Steve.
The fact you had these two games against Penn State back to back like this, how did it help just in terms of, or did you like having it set up this way when you're coming off a loss to a team to be able to get them right back again a few days later? Do you think that helped in terms of their preparation or anything?
Well, I'm sure it was a motivating factor for the players. But also, it worked in terms of, we're in an unusual time, obviously, with this season, but to be able to use just one day of practice, obviously, and there's times where we've flipped around and played teams in a short amount of time, but there's been a game in between or two games in between. But, we were able to come back Saturday night, took Sunday off, and then just used yesterday to prepare and really didn't do much of a scouting report other than just go through the review film that I had pulled from Saturday's game and went through that. And then, had a shorter practice on the floor and we knew what we had to do. It was just a matter of going and doing it tonight. And fortunately we played well enough to come out on top.
Josh.
Greg, do you think this game could sort of serve as a breakthrough game for Johnny as far as hitting some of the shots that he hadn't been hitting over the last couple of games and maybe picking up a little bit of confidence moving forward?
Well, I think the one thing, with any young player and really anybody, he's continuing to work on his game, and shooting something he spends time on and gets a lot of reps in. So that, I think maybe he didn't shoot 4 for 4 before, shoot that prolific. because maybe he wasn't ready to shoot 4 for 4. I mean, he's put time in, he's gotten better. And of course, from where he was when he came in and I'd bring the freshmen in until late July, early August, when we started some actual workouts with just the freshmen, the improvement he's made in his ability to shoot the ball is evident. And obviously it shows tonight. So, I know he'll be the first one to thank the teammates for finding him, because you have to have somebody to get you the ball in the right time, right place, on time, on target, and he was able to take advantage of it. So hopefully it helps grow his confidence, but I think he's just scratching the surface in terms of the type of player he can be. And we've already talked about the 6 turnovers, so I know he'll be looking forward to fixing that as well.
Raul.
Hey, Greg, Penn State was one of the first teams to trap Micah hard in the post. I was wondering how you liked the way the team adjusted to it, and just generally how the team kind of reacted to the way Penn State played Micah.
Yeah, I thought he was better tonight, and I thought we, it wasn't perfect, but it was better than what it was on Saturday. So, this is not the first team to trap in the post. We've seen other teams do that, but specifically with our fives, you just got to make good decisions and get out of it. And you can't script everything. You got some cuts and stuff you do behind it, but you still got to make good decisions and get the ball to the proper place on time and on target, or come out and get it across the floor to the other side. And we were able to do that a couple times too. I think one of Tyler's threes came off a post trap. We were able to rotate it to the other side of the floor and get a wide open 3. So that's, at times, that can be kryptonite to post trapping is the threes you can give up on the backside if you can get it out and get it over there. And fortunately, we were able to do that well enough tonight.
George.
Greg, Nate said it after the loss on Saturday. They failed the first test, so they'd have a retake today. How do you assess, and where do you think they excelled in passing the test today?
Well, I mentioned earlier, transition defense. Defensively, we were much better. We were obviously more connected, I felt, on the same page. And that starts what we do in transition. So to be able to, and we gave up a lot. I don't know the exact number, if it was 21 or 15 on Saturday, way too many. 21. Okay. To go from 21 to 0, obviously that's a huge step in the right direction. So that's where it starts. And to get our defense set, like I mentioned earlier, we took better shots for the most part, got to the free throw line more. So just overall played a more sound to 40 minutes than what we had on Saturday.
Right back to George.
Yeah, last one, before the game, what did you think about the intro video from Big Cat and him even giving you the silent assassin shout out?
That's what he said? I couldn't hear what he said. Everybody was laughing around me, but I didn't hear what he was saying. Do we have that on film? Because I'll have to get me the film, because I don't pay attention. I didn't want to get out of my pregame ritual of just kind of squatting there and dapping up the guys as they came off the chairs. So I didn't want to turn it. I knew it was coming, but I'll see it later. And I shout out to Big Cat for giving me the silent assassin thing. I'll have to watch it.
We'll wrap things up with one more from Jeff.
Greg, sometimes you guys struggle a little bit offensively if Trice doesn't score. He did not score tonight, but I'm just curious how you thought he handled other facets of his game when his shot wasn't falling.
Well, let me look real quick. Myron yields Myron Jones to 14 on really 17 shots, including the 2 free throws. So that was the focus for him. And we talked about that early in the pregame with the job. He's had to guard a lot of really good guards, and Myron is a really, really good player. So obviously he wasn't the only one guarding him, but I really wanted him to focus on that. And that's the nice thing of having a balanced team, that you can have your, starting point guard not score, but 6 assists, 1 turnover. That's a good productive night. So we've got, 12 points at least, based on what the assists were off him making plays for others. So, we're harder to guard when we can disperse it and have more people scoring. So that's good to have other people step up and pick up where maybe he was struggling a little bit.